I think that one of the most important things in taekwondo is how quickly you can make decisions, how well you can read your opponent, feel their movements, and anticipate the next one. That is why in taekwondo the power or strength of your kick is not necessarily the most important thing. What matters is how quickly you can process everything and find the best possible decision to make in the fight. I would say that taekwondo is much like chess, only everything happens at incredibly high speed. Instead of the chess pieces, you use your entire body. You attack with your legs, constantly try to anticipate your opponent's moves and look for ways to outsmart them. Like for every taekwondo athlete, my biggest dream is to win the Olympic gold. We all train for it, to raise our country's flag at the Olympic Games, and that's what I'm working toward every day. I hope that one day I can make that dream come true. After all, this has been my dream since childhood, and if I achieve it, I hope I can show other Kazakh taekwondo athletes that it is possible to beat the best and become champions. I believe that would give Kazakhstan's taekwondo a huge boost and help the sport grow even further. So my biggest goal is simple: Olympic gold. It is hard to believe, but the composure with which this young athlete maps out tactical strategies on the mat is based not on blind luck in sports but on precise mathematical calculation. Tamirlan Tleules is a truly unique phenomenon in Kazakhstan's taekwondo sphere. He is the only athlete in the history of the national school to have progressed through a consistent series of world and continental podium finishes, from the cadet and junior levels all the way to the U21 World Championships. There is no show of aggression in him. Behind the calmness and intellectual composure of a grandmaster lies phenomenal timing, lightning-fast reactions, and an iron will capable of turning fights around in the final seconds. After spending 6 months away from the mat, following major shoulder surgery and pushing his recovery to return in time for ranking tournaments, Tamirlan demonstrated just how professionally mature he has become.
He
was about 5 when he first came to our gym. There was nothing particularly remarkable about him, a skinny little boy just like others. But as he went through the training process, it became clear that he had a certain character, the kind that you need to succeed in sport.
Который нужен в спорте. Качества, наверное, связаны с характером.
I think these qualities are connected to character. It is very difficult to train someone to have the will to win. Sometimes it can be developed, but more often I believe it is something you are born with.
Умение анализировать сложности.
The ability to analyze a difficult situation when you are under pressure, when there are so many people around you, when everyone is shouting either your name or your opponent's. That ability to stay composed in such a challenging situation is extremely difficult to teach. That is his greatest strength. On top of that, he knows how to stay tactically focused throughout a fight. I think that's his main quality. As for what he still needs, I would say it's mostly technical aspects, and those can be developed.
Технические моменты, которые, в принципе, вполне себе реализуемы.
At one point, Tamirlan's father brought his young son to a taekwondo club, hoping to channel his boundless energy and hyperactivity into something constructive. Around the same time, he also began taking chess seriously, achieving impressive results in the sport. As it turned out, the combination of these two disciplines would go on to shape Tamirlan's unique style. On the mat, he moves like a true chess player, anticipating his opponent's combinations several moves ahead. While training in our gym, he also attended a chess club. His development in chess progressed in parallel with his taekwondo career, and he achieved a very high level there as well. He's talented at everything he does. Wherever he chose to go, I believe he would have found success.
Я думаю, у него везде был успех.
Честно говоря,
Honestly, it wasn't really a conscious choice because it all started back in 2011. I was only 6 years old and my dad said to me, "A taekwondo club has just opened nearby. Let's go and take a look. Maybe you'll like it." And that's how I gradually started training in taekwondo. I really enjoyed it. And as you can see, we're still training and achieving very good results. When I think back to when I was very young, I remember my mom always saying that I was quite a troublemaker. I don't know why, but I always wanted to fight with everyone. I would cry loudly, run around everywhere. But as I grew older, my character changed a lot. I became very calm and even tempered, and I think I'm a pretty calm person now.
Я думаю,
I think, deep down, he's still the same little troublemaker. But of course, he has become mature and thoughtful. He has a goal now. He knows what he wants and where he's going. The Korean martial art of taekwondo, which literally translates as the way of the foot and fist, has undergone a remarkable evolution over the past several decades. What emerged in the mid-20th century as a rigorous military system of self-defense has evolved into one of the most spectacular, dynamic, and technologically advanced Olympic sports. Taekwondo made its official Olympic debut at the 2000 Games in Sydney, and since then, its popularity has grown exponentially across the globe. Unlike other combat sports, such as boxing or traditional wrestling, Taekwondo places a particular emphasis on lightning-fast and highly precise kicking techniques, including spectacular jumping and spinning kicks. But the defining feature of modern Olympic Taekwondo is the unprecedented level of objectivity in scoring, made possible by the introduction of revolutionary electronic PSS systems. Athletes step onto the mat wearing specially equipped protective gear, electronic body protectors, helmets, and sensor-equipped socks. Once a kick lands with the required force, the sensors registered automatically and points are awarded by the system. This is a way to minimize human error, leaving virtually no room for subjective decisions by the referees. For example, in boxing or wrestling, judging isn't always completely objective. If a competition is held in a particular country, as you sometimes see, athletes from that country may receive more favorable treatment. But in Taekwondo, we have an electronic scoring system, and with the judges involved, everything works fairly. We wear protective equipment with built-in sensors. The system automatically measures the force of the kicks in kilograms and awards the corresponding points. In other sports, things can work differently. For example, fencing has a similar system. Whenever a hit is registered, a point is automatically awarded, which can determine the winner. In our case, points are awarded for clean, properly executed strikes. The introduction of electronic scoring has fundamentally changed the biomechanics and dynamics of the fight. Raw physical strength and sheer power are no longer enough to guarantee a result. Instead, timing, precision, distance, and the ability to instantly read an opponent's intentions have become the key factors. As one UFC fighter once said, timing beats speed. In our sport, speed isn't everything. Being fast doesn't necessarily determine the outcome. If you understand your game at the right moment, when to wait, when to strike, and execute your plan correctly, you can win. There are different types of champions. Some may not have great reactions. Others may not be particularly fast. Someone may have all the physical and technical qualities and be incredibly talented but lack the character. Today, Kazakhstan has built a modern training system and infrastructure. National team athletes take part in centralized training camps throughout the year, follow advanced scientific and sports methodology programs, and are even incorporating digital innovations into their preparation. Kazakhstan is not simply following global trends. It is becoming one of the pioneers in the field. At the National University of Sport, a dedicated department has been established to explore the potential of one of the newest developments in the sport, VR Taekwondo. Taekwondo is developing very actively today. More and more children and teenagers are joining the sport, and as the National Taekwondo Federation, we are doing everything we can to support its growth. First of all, Taekwondo is an Olympic sport, and secondly, it is extremely popular around the world. So I can confidently say that over the past 2 years, Taekwondo in Kazakhstan has been developing rapidly, with more and more young athletes taking up the sport. In addition, when it comes to the development of Taekwondo in Kazakhstan, I would like to mention that we have recently opened a dedicated Taekwondo department at the National University of Sport. As part of our research project, we have introduced VR Taekwondo, which is already gaining recognition around the world. Last year, Singapore hosted the first World Championship in VR Taekwondo. As a developing country that wants to be at the forefront of Taekwondo, we have introduced this discipline in Kazakhstan as well. We will now be studying the new format and at the same time preparing athletes not only in Kurugi, the traditional form of Taekwondo, but also in VR Taekwondo. I believe the number of VR Taekwondo enthusiasts will continue to grow, so together with you, we will keep developing Taekwondo in Kazakhstan. Yet behind the shine of medals, high-tech scoring and media attention lies the other side of professional sport: grueling routine, psychological challenges and serious injuries. For the viewer, a fight lasts just a few minutes, but athletes pay for those brief moments on the mat with years of relentless self-discipline, endless training camps away from their families, and the constant risk of injury. At the beginning of 2026, Tamirlan Tleules underwent complex surgery on his left shoulder. His rehabilitation was expected to take 6 months. However, with a crucial Grand Prix ranking tournament approaching, the athlete had to accelerate his recovery and return to competition ahead of schedule. For example, at the beginning of this year, I had a surgery on my left shoulder and spent about 5 or 6 months recovering. So many athletes deal with injuries to their knees, arms, legs. They all make sacrifices and put their health on the line for a medal and for the opportunity to represent their country on the international stage. Viewers only see the result. They think it must all come so easily to these athletes. They just step out there and win. But that's not how it works at all. They don't see how much sweat we put in, how many tears, or how much joy there can be along the way. Every day you wake up, it's discipline. 2 training sessions a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you do it all over again the next day. It's a very difficult lifestyle. You're constantly away at training camps, hardly ever at home. You don't get to spend time with your friends or live a normal life. You sacrifice all of that for the chance to win competitions. Unfortunately, injuries often follow athletes throughout their careers, and we were no exception. The recovery took less time then, but we had to make that decision because we were competing in a ranking tournament that was extremely important for our future competitions. We simply had no choice then to come back earlier than planned. The decision to accelerate his return was driven by the demanding schedule of the Olympic cycle. Not long from now, the athletes will face the Asian Games, followed by the final stages of the Grand Prix series. Then in 2027, Astana will host the biggest event of the 4-year cycle, the World Taekwondo Championships. The opportunity to earn crucial ranking points, compete on a familiar mat with the support of Kazakh fans, could become a major advantage for the national team on its road to securing qualification for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. We can earn a large share of our ranking points right here at home. We have the Grand Prix final in Astana, as well as the World Championships, where we can collect a significant number of valuable ranking points. And for us, as athletes, it is also a great opportunity because we get to compete at home, in front of our own fans.
Квалифицироваться на Олимпийские игры в Лос-Анджелесе.
There is a strong sense of ambition and hunger for success within the national team today. Kazakhstan has yet to win an Olympic gold medal or an individual senior world championship title in taekwondo. That makes the next generation of athletes even more determined. They no longer feel intimidated by the biggest names in world taekwondo. Instead, they step onto the mat with one clear goal: to rewrite the sport history of Kazakhstan. I can't really compare because I don't know what training was like for the senior athletes 5 years ago. But I do know one thing: things are very different for us now. As older athletes have told us, there used to be a certain mindset. When they faced Korea, they were already thinking about Korea as a strong opponent. If they came up against Iran, they would think Iran has Olympic champions. But today, we don't care who we are facing. Whoever we go up against, wherever we compete, we are ready to fight and compete with anyone. And one of the leading figures in this new wave is Tamirlan Tleules. There is no youthful arrogance or empty bravado in him. His analytical mind, sharpened through years of chess, combined with an exceptional technical foundation and a calm, focused determination, makes him one of the most dangerous tacticians in world taekwondo. He's only around 20, yet he already knows how to overcome serious setbacks and set himself ambitious, highly demanding goals. He knows exactly where he's going and what he's doing. And beyond his development as an athlete, he also works on himself in other areas. He's a very good chess player. He loves reading, and he's an incredibly curious young man. He has a broad outlook and a very wide range of interests. What makes him unique is, first of all, his character and determination as an athlete. On top of that, he's the only athlete to have won a bronze medal at the Asian Championships at cadet level. Then, as far as I remember, a silver medal at junior level and a bronze at the U21 World Championships. You can clearly see the progress. He knows what he wants and where he's going. I can personally say that the national team, the head coach, and the federation have very high hopes for him. When you look at him as an athlete, you can see that he already has that gold medal in his mind, as if he can already picture himself holding it in his hands. You can actually see it from the outside. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but as a former coach, I recognize that mindset. So I believe he will achieve very strong results, and I hope he will make history.
Сделает историю.
I think the quality that helps me win is my determination to see my dream through to the very end. Even if you lose, even if you face a lot of setbacks, you still get back up and keep doing the work. When you were a kid, you made a promise to yourself: I want to become a world champion. I want to become an Olympic champion. And until I achieve that, I won't stop. I think that determination not to give up is what helps me so much in taekwondo. Last year, I lost a lot of fights in the final seconds. I could have simply given up on the sport and walked away thinking, why am I doing all this? But every time you realize that the dream hasn't been achieved yet, you have to keep moving forward toward that goal.